Spirit's asking you not to give up. Don't stop posting. Don't stop pushing forward. Don't stop taking the action. Six of Wands, you're going to get your recognition. You might feel like things have been moving slow, or maybe your energy around pushing through has felt a little stagnant. Maybe you've been feeling unmotivated or lost that momentum and drive. But it's giving that energy of like, don't give up. Like, it's kind of like when people work out and they feel like they're not seeing a ton of progress, and then they wake up one day and they just feel snatched all of a sudden. Or they've been consistent with posting in content creation, and then it feels like it's not getting any traction, and then the next day like their channel blows up. It's just giving this energy of like, you are just right around the corner from having your success, getting your recognition, and really being seen. Yeah, the Magician, like you've been manifesting something. And, you know, the quickest way to achieve our manifestations is not only to obviously set the intention and, you know, think about the outcome as to what it would feel like, what you want, where you're going, manifest that shit, right? But it's also taking action. But sometimes it takes a little bit of time for things to catch up and for you to see the results. And so I'm just getting that there's something brewing underneath the surface. Yeah, if it's the Knight of Pentacles, like the steps you've been taking, the actions and whatnot have been grounded. They have been very stable in building your foundation. So even though maybe you're not seeing the results quite yet, you're just right around the corner. Yeah, King of Cups. It's going to make you really happy that you like stayed consistent. And with the Strength card is all about like endurance and just like having the ability to persevere through the ups and downs. And I'm just getting that this is something you've been working on, that, you know, maybe in the past you found yourself like giving up easily, and, you know, a bunch of like half starts or, you know, just failed attempts. But the Ace of Pentacles, this is something that you're building that's very tangible. It's very much so an opportunity, and it's somewhat of a new path that you've gone down. But I'm just hearing that you've been called to go down this path, and so it's something that's meant for you. And then we have the Seven of Swords. You might have felt that you needed to be very strategic, and maybe that could be part of like why you're losing momentum, is maybe you have not been as strategic as it would be helpful for you to, maybe to create somewhat of a schedule and to become a little bit more strict with what it is that you're creating. I'm hearing time wasters, like being mindful of where you're giving your time to. With the Knight of Swords, this can be a very like impulsive and like quick, you know, energy, but it can also be very kind of like flighty, like just as quick as it comes in, it can come, you know, the energy can dissipate. So maybe you've been struggling with like getting these like spurts of energy and drive and motivation, and, you know, and then maybe not always acting on it, because maybe you're indulging in some time wasting activities, and so you're not taking that opportunity to jump on the inspiration when it's there. So maybe really examining like what it is you're doing with your time. There's Atomic Habits is a good book. Talks about like habit stacking and, you know, kind of tracking what you're doing with your time. And then we have the Page of Wands. And the Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, I'm just getting that you want to have fun, and you want to like have a playful like existence. And I think that that's really important when you're building something, because with the Eight of Pentacles, this is very much a attention to detail, putting a lot of effort and work into like refining your skill and what it is you're producing or what creating or what you're putting out there. And so having a level of fun incorporated can also help keep you inspired to keep pushing forward. So maybe for some of you, you need to find something to do that would kind of just take you out of your routine Yeah, the sun, something that's going to, for some, it's getting outdoors more, but something that's going to energize you, something that's going to, I'm hearing a breath of fresh air. And if some of you are working from home, maybe you're finding yourself spending too much time indoors, and that could be like stifling your creativity. And so maybe if you're having a hard time staying consistent, it's a matter of incorporating some sort of necessary getting out of the house and energetically giving yourself access to something other than being indoors. Yeah, Three of Wands, like getting out there and seeing what's out there, and expanding your horizons, and as far as what you're doing in your daily routine can really help inspire you and help you expand. Yeah, Page of Cups. That's all about like also taking care of yourself, like making sure that you're eating healthy, getting some exercise, meditating, whatever that looks like for you as far as self-care. But all of these things contribute to your ability to sustain a long-term effort in creating something or producing, building. Three of Swords and the Nine of Swords. Some of you could be really just kind of stuck in an energy where emotionally you're dealing with some things, if there's been a loss or things that are really stressful right now, that could be really interfering with your ability to stay consistent, and persevering through that. What's going to probably help you is actually to maybe get out, get some exercise, get outdoors, especially if you've been at home and kind of like in a depressed energy. So yeah, I think Spirit's really just asking you to examine what it is you're doing with your time, and maybe just get outside and go for a walk and see, like, maybe you'll be really surprised if you get out there and just start walking around, that it'll be easier to reach your goal. Because even though you might still find like a level of fulfillment in your routine, I'm just hearing that it can be a little bit of a lazy routine, and rest is really important, like being like grounded and like, in your stable and grounded in your everyday existence. But reaching your goals might be helpful to start looking outside of the home for ways to kind of get over that energy if you've been stuck in it. But yeah, just keep posting and keep at it, because I'm getting that it's just right around the corner that you're going to see the success, and I think it's going to shock you quite a bit.